What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back. Motor City Lions talk at the long hiatus. They fired Jim Caldwell. Today we all knew that was going to be, what it was. Not shocked, not angry. But the hiatus. Let's talk about the hiatus I took, man. Somebody reported a breakdown prediction video I did for the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Lions. For whatever reason, I said the Lions weren't gonna make the playoffs, and I guess they got mad about the truth. If you can't handle the truth on this channel, and I'm not going to be a Lion fanboy, that's not how I rock. Just unsubscribe, block me, do what you got to do. The flag my video was pointless, and I took a step back. And I'm always gonna come back in the off season, so I knew what it was gonna be. Lions fans are very optimistic fans after years of losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. Every year, they're optimistic. They go down there and spend their money and expect things to change. As long as you spend your money, nothing gonna change. But yeah, Caldwell's out. Not a shocker. He was 36-28 over 4 or 5 seasons. Not bad. But a lot of people say, the people that's for Caldwell, why Caldwell out? We made a lot of dumb coaching decisions. You know what I mean? And it was a personnel decision issue as well. Personnel decision from Bob Quinn was trusting Amir Abdullah to be the running back that he never was truly going to be. Amir Abdullah is not an every down back, and I'm not even sure he's a NFL caliber running back at this point. Theo Reddick is not a running back. He's a gadget, third down, slot receiver type running back. I mean, Zach Zenner can't handle the physical pounding of the NFL on this level to be an every down back. Washington is clearly not an NFL talented type of back. He's more of a kick returner type of guy. And a lot of people say, hire this guy, that guy, defensive wise, when we get into that in a minute. But the problem with the Lions, defensively started when Nada went out. They had nobody that could fill in for Nada, that can eat double and triple teams up and free other guys up. And Ziggy wasn't healthy to the end. If Ziggy was healthy in the beginning with Nada, it still was healthy, the Lions season might be better. The Lions season was dominant. Minnesota came off a game where, Case Keenum threw for 300 yards in 3 quarters off of Tampa Bay. They played the Lions at home and got shut down. They shouldn't even scored a touchdown. Killer Bruce should have caught that pick. But this is deeper than Jim Caldwell. But Caldwell did hang himself by not kicking field goals in Pittsburgh and a host of other mistakes, not challenging certain plays. I mean, not getting the team to play up to par. A lot of people say, where's the emotion? He don't have to have emotion. I'm not mad at a guy that doesn't have emotion. He's a stoic guy. Never high, never low. That's the type of guy I want, And a lot of people got mad when they get bad calls. He don't get fired up and cuss out the officials and get fined for what? What good does that do? If that's your main reason for wanting to get rid of Jim Caldwell, then you're an idiot. Because no matter what he do, cry, yell, scream up and down, guess what? That Golden Tate touchdown still ain't a touchdown. We don't know what he's telling behind closed doors. Still wasn't a touchdown. It's nothing that, we can change about that. Nothing he can change about that. So if your reason for getting rid of Jim Caldwell because he is emotionless, what about Jim Shorts? Caldwell, I'm pretty sure, got a better record than Jim Shorts. He was very emotional. And the Lions was getting a lot of penalties, and they took on that identity to be emotional and reckless and over aggressive. With Caldwell, those penalties stopped as soon as he got there. He had the respect of those men in the locker room, and they stopped the penalties, and everything was kosher, But a lot of people want to Caldwell out. I don't mind Caldwell going out, leaving out, because I think it got to be another coach to get them over the hump. But let's get into the coaching talk now. The coaches they trying to get, you don't need a defensive coach. You don't. Terrell Austin is better than any defensive coach they can bring in right now, in my opinion. Excuse me. Terrell Austin, I was on the thread, it was like the defense wasn't a problem. And it wasn't. People said, we're ranked in the bottom. No, the defense did become a problem until Hanodi Nada was out. Ziggy Ansah wasn't healthy. It was a personnel problem on defense. We seen Terrell Austin as a capable defensive coordinator and possibly a head coach in this league. What he did when Sue left and what he did with Sue there, he had them as the number 1, number 2 defense. The problem with the Lions has always been the inability to run the ball since James Stewart, their last 1,000-yard rusher. That has been the issue with the Lions. Don't let them fool you trying to say it was the defense. It wasn't the defense. And if it was the defense, it was a personnel issue by Bob Quinn. You know, Tease Tabor didn't play to the end of the year. That could have been spent on a pick. That could have been a running back. Could have been a pass rusher. Could have been somebody that can contribute on defense. You know, that's just my opinion there. You know, he didn't. He filled the defensive line with bottom grade guys. You know, Akeem Spence. He ain't did shit in Tampa. He had a straight year this year. Cornelius Washington, a lot of potential, but never did nothing in Chicago. You know, Zettel. You know, he's an okay defensive end, but he's not a starting defensive end. So Terrell Austin had these guys one of the top 10 defense, especially in takeaways all year, with nobody. Jared Davis was a rookie playing middle linebacker, hard to transition to. He had his ups and downs this year. Got injured. He wasn't the same after Odell Beckham hit him with a blindside crackback. I mean, you know. The cornerback switching with DJ Hayden and the other cornerback, I can't think of his name right now. I don't like him. Neither one of those two cornerbacks. It's the number 2 cornerback. I can't remember his name. I don't like neither one of them. But like Tease Tabor may take over. You know, the nickel cornerback did very well this year. Quadre Diggs, he played exceptional this year. He's definitely gonna be starting next year at the nickel. Slade did okay this year. I mean, Glover Quinn is good as usual. I mean, it's just them building up front. They got the back end for the second. Tease Tabor gonna slide in the second corner. He'll be ready. They got the nickel. They got a starting corner. You know, maybe instead of corners, they need a strong safety maybe. But you know, he ain't that bad. The strong safety name I can't remember neither. He not Tavon Wilson. He's okay. You know, but I would, you know, Killer Bruce will start taking over that spot. But I'm not seeing the growth from him. But defensively, it's not the issue. You know, you bring in Matt Patricia for what? He ain't nothing. His defense is worse than the Lions' defense. And they got Stephon Gilmore. They got Malcolm Butler. They got the twin over there, McCourty. You know, they got all this talent over there. You know, all this talent. They they worse than us. They more talented than us, and they've been worse than us all year. So how's this guy a top guy for the Lions when he worse than Terrell Austin? Cause he from New England. That don't mean nothing. What about Charlie Weiss? Burnt out in college. Romeo Cornell, burnt out in the pros. Josh McDaniels went to Denver. He was too young though, but burnt out in Denver. I mean, all these different guys. Eric Mangini left New England, burnt out with the New York Jets. Tell me somebody who's went on from New England coaches that has actually accomplished something. The Bill O'Brien, whatever, down in Texas, about to smoke out, couldn't get a quarterback. You know. So I'm not a fan of bringing Matt Patricia in. I don't see him being a good coordinator or being a good head coach at least. You know, you might as well upgrade Terrell Austin to bring in a new offensive staff in. But I heard if they hire Matt Patricia, it's a rumor that they could keep Jim Bob Cooter, and that's absolutely no go. You need to bring somebody in like the Rams did with Sean McVay, somebody young, innovative, and that can adjust in their offense week by week and adjust it year by year. And tweak it, you know. Look at the Rams. You know, Goff and Gurley had a horrible year under Jeff Fisher. They brought this 30-year-old coach in, Sean McVay, and he reinvigorated them guys, put an offense in, made Robert Woods look good, reinvented Sammy Watkins, brought in Cooper Kupp to work the slide, and they good. And Todd Gurley back running the ball with the same basically people with a couple adjustments. You know, he retooled that offense, and they good to go. And you know, the guy that I like to bring in, it's not a popular by choice, but it's Mike Shanahan. Or if you bring in Matt Patricia or you upgrade Terrell Austin to head coach, which could be a high possibility, you know, I say bring in somebody that knows how to run the ball with a proven system. And see, Gary Kubiak, who only wants to be an offensive coordinator, he doesn't want to be a coach anymore, be a head coach anymore. I like him, Mike Shanahan. Obviously, John Gruden's going to Oakland Raiders. I never liked him for Matthew Stafford. His verbiage and his offense is too complicated to pick up. It's going to take years for Stafford to pick that up. But those two, man, you know, two guys that can prove and run the ball. You know, run the ball with any running back. You know, the zone blocking scheme is what the Lions need in their life, you know. And that's my opinion right there. You know, let Austin continue to carry over the defense. He needs another linebacker. He needs 2 more linebackers on defense. He needs some more. He needs a defensive tackle to run with. Alshon Robinson and Ndamukong Suh could be released. You can bring him back. That solves all the problems. You can bring Ziggy back at the right price, and replace Zettel in the draft. I mean, you fixed your defense right there. Simple as that. You got 3 corners. You got 2 safeties that can get the job done. You got a utility guy in Don Carey. You could bring back the other corner, or him and DJ Hayden. I can't remember what his name is that I don't like. I picture his face. You can do that and patch up the defense that quick. Offensively, you might need a guard, or you might need you might need to replace the whole right side. But I wouldn't do that. I let them grow, get healthy. Lang and I like TJ Lang when he's healthy, and the other guy that we bought from Baltimore. Keep them. I like the center Swanson. I like Decker being healthy. You might need a left guard. Maybe that's it. And also you need somebody that can stretch the field offensively. I will part ways with Golden Tate. A lot of people don't like that. Oh, he caught 100 balls. He caught this 100 balls, but he had I think he had 400-yard games this year. I mean, he's just too small, to play on the outside. I know Kenny Dalley can grow into that, but but you get a running game. I guess you can bring back Tate for 1 more year, but I'm not paying him top 1 or 2 receiver money. I mean, that's just me. But I think if you run the ball, you solve a lot of problems. And Gary Kubiak and Mike Shanahan, can do that if they're part of your plans. They prove in to run the ball with, Alfred Morris, Gary Anderson, Terrell Davis, Clinton Portis. I mean, some of these guys had career years under them. Robert Griffin, under Mike Shanahan as well, and Gary Kubiak. The Lions need somebody who can run the ball, proven. That can bring a scheme here that's proven to win through different eras of the NFL. The 90s Shanahan, early 2000s, just as early as 09, 10, 11, 12, wherever he had Robert Griffin. Every year and everywhere he goes, he's able to run that ball. And that's what the Lions need. That's the Lions' biggest problem. It's not special teams. It's not kick return. It's not defense. It's not overall offense. It's overall running the damn ball. If you run the ball, you're able to mask and cover up a lot of holes on the team. How many times have we seen the Lions not able to get 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, punching in at the goal line, punching in the red zone? People don't respect us. They don't even have to load the box up, as far as, stopping us in the run. You gotta respect that run. You gotta respect the run game. And the people don't respect our run game. Stafford hasn't seen an 8-9-man box in his career. Period. If you get him an 8-man box, you get a running back that could threaten, that could take over the game, a real running back, a 3-down back. I wouldn't bring back any running back this year, except maybe Tion Green, and that's it. All of them can kick rocks. I just reboot my whole little running back thing. Core. Get everything. Be able to run that zone blocking system and get you a back that works in that system, that can one cut, that can make somebody miss, that's durable. I mean, I like Saquon Barkley. I haven't seen a lot of running backs this year. I heard the guy from San Diego State is good. I have to break down some film. We'll start doing that very, very soon. But that's the number one. But if you're talking about other candidates, Pat Shurmur. I mean, look what he did with the Minnesota Vikings. I know he flaked out with the Browns, and who don't flake out with the Browns. But he's proven to run the ball. He's proven to have a quarterback-friendly offense, and even reinvigorate Case Keenum. Remember, Norv Turner was there. He couldn't get that out of none of the quarterbacks. That's a guy. Josh McDaniels is a guy who's with a proven system, who knows how to run the ball as well. Who can get the best out of Stafford as well. I think he's more mature now in the second go around. I think those are the short list candidates, man. For me, I'm not about to go defense. When the biggest problem ain't the defense with the Lions. The biggest problem is not running the ball. Running the ball keeps the defense on the sideline. It keeps the offense sustaining drives that we haven't been able to sustain for years. It helps us punch the ball into the red zone. In the red zone. Help us get third and shorts that we can never get and sustain drives. That's the issue. You can let Terrell Austin continue to run that defense. Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Caldwell hasn't figured out. They didn't figure out how to run the ball. And why would you bring a defensive coach in that doesn't, that's not going to help you learn how to run the ball? Bring you an offensive guy in who can teach you how to run the ball, who can teach Stafford how to sustain drives, who comes in with a proven system, who knows how to utilize Golden Tate in the slot and make sure he gets over 100 catches every year, who knows how to stretch the field with Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay. Maybe you can bring you a deep threat in, somebody like Deshaun Jackson at the right price, because his stock is plummeting, but that's the guy that you can just plug in and he can get down the field. Him and Kenny Galladay can split reps, and become more dangerous. Get you a couple good running backs. Get you a scat back. a real speedy guy, you know, that can catch the ball at the backfield, you know, and get you a real thoroughbred running back that can run between the tackles, and get you a veteran running back just because in case that rookie running back that y'all thinking about getting can't handle the load. And I keep Tion Green on the roster, and that's it. That's how I'm rocking out. I'm not a fan of defensive coaches because I'm telling you, we got a great defensive mind in Terrell Austin. And I know a lot of people say if Jim Caldwell walk, you know, Austin better walk. You know, I feel him on that. You go down with the guy who brought you here, but at the end of the day, it's a job. If they're willing to pay you and upgrade your price just to be like a head coach and a co-defensive coordinator, you keep Terrell Austin because he's a star in this league. He's gonna be a head coach somewhere anyway. But he's a star. You keep that man. You bring in an offensive guy, and I name the offensive guys I like. I'm not a fan of Matt Patricia. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of him at all. Don't like what he brings to the table, and I could be wrong. You know, I could be. You know, I really could be. Trying to think of other coaches they talking about. McDaniel. I mean, I'm not a fan of that New England thing, man. McDaniels is I would accept McDaniels. But Patricia, you know, Mike Vrabel, who I'm not a fan of none of that. You know, keep them New England guys, and this ain't New England. You know, Bob Quinn, you get a guy who knows how to run the ball. Get a running back, get a deep threat, you know, shore up your defense, and let's rock out. We gone.